keep getting that wrong. It's Gunvolt Chronicles Luminous Avenger. Please let me know if the audio balance is a little off, if I'm too loud, too quiet, via the game. This is the side game starring Copen, our terrible Mega Man knockoff from the second game, or who was playable in the second game, present in both of them, who, like, had this bizarre conclusion to his story where he realized that his crusade to exterminate metahumans in his world was entirely unfounded and immoral, but decided he was going to go on doing it anyway for no real reason, because anime storytelling, resolve, and dedication, and so on. Really, the reason I'm here is the gameplay and the pretty astounding boss design. The visual and audio design of this series is incredible. I can't wait to dive into this one with you. Give me just a second real quick. I am going to tweak my audio balance just a little, because it sounds like this game's a little bit louder than the others. There we go. Please let me know if I'm too loud or too quiet once again. I don't want to drown out the game nor be drowned out. So, let's see. You can view a demo right from the start menu. That's kind of nice. Language, English, or... okay. So it's just what language I guess you would like your subtitles to be in. Perfectly fine. Thanks again for the host, Kyle. Really appreciate it, man. Really like the design of the menus. Nice and minimalist. Ooh.
ある島国の話。世界は異能を宿し、高度に発達した新人類群セプティマ・ホルダーに支配されていた。わずかに残った異能を持たない旧人類はマイナーズと呼ばれる。
So this takes place ostensibly in a totally different country that is being dominated by adepts. Wait, no, this is... huh? The hell does this have to do with... no, like in the first game, the strong implications of the lore were that the adepts, like metahumans in a lot of, say, comic book universes and the like, were kind of few and far between, and Sumeragi was specifically seeking them out, recruiting them, and sort of abusing their power to sustain, like, this really expansive corporate society comprised largely of people without superpowers. But now adepts are the majority, somehow? So either this takes place in, or far, far after the events of the first game, or they just kind of forgot their lore and decided to go with something else. It doesn't matter. I do really like Lola's characterization. I think she's a much more effective, or I should say a much more likable and kind of fleshed out, multi-dimensional character than Jewel was, who, again, whose entire characterization was based around some really creepy interactions with GV. Kyle says, my own thoughts is this is after Gunvolt 2, but I want to see if you have the same thoughts once you beat it. We'll see. I would assume so, right? I mean, there's Lola's idol form, I think, or her muse form. Oh, here we go. It's gonna be like riding a bike. straight into a unit of heavily armed special forces. I do appreciate them giving you all of this information before you're thrown into the action, instead of trying to tutorialize you with, like, on-screen text while you're trying to move through the tutorial stage. This is a better way of doing it than the first two games elected for. Yep, we good. Thank you, Lola. Alright, so we're not striking anymore. This is a... Oh, we've got a secret right off the bat. Nice. Cal says there's no on-screen text in this game, I don't think, or very little of it if there is, so looks like we've got 7 main bosses once again. Nice. Oh, like upgrades we can buy, like straight up with the currency we begin with. That's nice. So the currency's useful even if you can't necessarily forge anything. Very, very nice. Oh, I think I'm gonna like this a lot. Game looks gorgeous, of course. And, hey, it's the Sumeragi folks again. Oh my god, yeah, the visual style here is so crisp, so clean, I love it. Oh, these things are like artillery pieces. Okay. Metal? Oh no, health, I guess. Yeah, so Copen feels just as good as he did in the first title. Oh, jeez. Oh, hello. No secret down here? What a pity. Nice, nice, nice. So it looks like we're fighting our way just through one of these disused, like, slums populated by non-adepts. Minos, right? Alright. That was chancy, but we got our emblem. Oh, there's emblem number 3. Oh, very nice. I do like the addition of, like, standard collectibles in these stages. That's both very nice and something that no doubt is going to frustrate the hell out of a completionist like me. Come on, come on. Just wasted his own support there. Wait, no, do we need to lock onto you first? Yes. At least I thought so. We might need a weapon we acquire later for that. And nothing anywhere else, right? Whoops. So lots of enemies returning from the first game so far, but that makes sense, we're fighting Sumeragi's forces. Oh, jeez. Oh, what on earth is this? So, looks like we may have missed an emblem, but that's fine. Well, that's an interesting power. Practically some form of telekinesis. Ah, I see. We can unload on him while he's not possessing the terrifying giant junk drone. Oh, jeez. He can really take a hit, can he? There we go. Actually dodged it quite nicely that time. There we are. Yeah, so we missed one emblem piece, but that's our first stage clear. Nice and easy. Oh, at least I thought. Oh no, right, that was still only the halfway point. Silly me. Hopefully this game will have a few more sub-bosses than the earlier ones did. Again, always one of my favorite parts of Mega Man titles. Oh, hello. Oh, she's got an interesting design. Cal says you missed 2 emblems now. There's 5 per stage. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. We can go back and get them later. Right, so he is going to be our stand-in rival for this installment, I suppose. Well, time for us to do what we do best. So we were fighting him untransformed, I believe. That's what they said anyway. So not too bad thus far. Kyle says there's 4 per stage, and if you get all 4, Lola goes into idle mode immediately. I see. So, like a nice little bonus if you can find them all, but it's not the end of the world, or you're missing out on a huge amount of content if you don't get them all the first time through. That's fine. That's very disappointing, Copen. We were just kicking his ass, and good old cutscene effects. Yeah, Kyle says you need all 4 if you're gonna grind stages for S+ ranks. I see. I'm not gonna like this character design, am I? I really like his. I mean, that is some badass illustration. From what little we actually got to see of his fighting style, too, he's very acrobatic. Involves more, he didn't seem to be quite as quick as, say, Tianjin or, Gibril from the second game, but there was more verticality in, like, his standard moves. So we probably, like, in an actual fight against him won't be able to just, like, stay airborne and therefore stay safe as easily as we could in the first game. B rank, I'll take it. We unlocked the Meeting of the Minos trophy. Oh, I was right. I don't like this character design at all. Just why? Like the soundtrack, I could say that much. So Copen's support in this game is going to be a bunch of, like, orphan children? Okay, so I'm probably not gonna like these folks quite as much as Copen support from the second game. All of whom were, like, legitimately really likable characters. Cal says there was a pre-order skin for Kohaku that gave her Lola's outfit, I think. Yeah, okay, this is one of those character or design choices I'm not gonna be okay with. Like, all the bosses I could see from, like, the splash screen when we loaded the game up, they all look really, really cool. But, like, man, anime, why you gotta be like this? Okay, so his tag actually, or his tag feature actually has some ramifications in the lore. That is interesting. So it looks like fundamentally we've got like a very kind of simple structure, or simple utilitarian plot for this game. Much like Copen did in the second one, we just need an excuse to go after these 7 adepts. Which is fine by me. I mean, I typically like really, intricate, well-developed stories in my games, but arcade action ones like this don't necessarily need them. Looks like there aren't multiple, like, illustrations or kind of sprites for characters in these cutscenes. Like, you know, to display different emotions or things like that, but that is fine. I believe this was, like the other games, developed on a reasonably tight budget. Hal says good guy Copen protecting children. Well, yeah, at the least he's willing to show kindness to some of the disenfranchised. Right, so is the talk option going to be like visiting with our teammates in the first couple of games, where we increase the likelihood of, yeah, summoning Lola, who, oh god, even she got a redesign to be more, well, of course, it's an anime character, more pointlessly sexualized. And I feel the need to interject here. Mega Man Zero and ZX, the 2 series that this dev team, or I should say, certain elements of this dev team, really cut their teeth on, and that I really adored when I was younger. Their character design, almost almost in every installment. There were a couple of them that had kind of lackluster boss design, but their entire cast of characters generally had really, really solid visual design. All of the bosses, and most of, like, the playable and even support characters looked really badass and distinct from one another, and there was, to the best of my knowledge, no pointless sexualization of, like, female characters. I don't know what changed. I wish it hadn't.
この力ってどっちかっていうと僕よりアキラ君の気分に左右されるみたいだよ。深層心理ってやつ。出撃前にこうやって誰かと楽しくトークしとくと発生確率も上がるみたいだし。へえ、そうなんだ。じゃあいっぱいおしゃべりした方がいいね。今夜は夜通し語り明かしちゃおうぜ、アキラ君。
Alright. Here we can customize our stuff. We're going to need to grind for some of these. Cal says this is probably just a minor thing in this game from the reveal trailer 3 that's been dropped. Hopefully so. I mean, I'm... Obviously, we've talked about this on some of my earlier streams for other games, but I really have a very, very strong distaste for pointless sexualization of, well, any characters, but of course, video games, like a lot of other media, they have this problem specifically with female characters. Wish they didn't. And not only is it, like, you know, potentially, well, I would say in some cases legitimately objectifying and offensive, but it's also just lazy as hell. If it's not an essential part of that character's, like, story or, like, characterization or personality. I think of, like, Camilla from Fire Emblem Fates, was it? Had a reason to have a more sexualized design. It was part of... The whole idea was she was meant to make the player and other characters in the environment around her very uncomfortable by being both an exuberantly sexual and also an exuberantly violent character. It was meant to be unsettling. I think that was done pretty well. Oh yeah, and Kyle says, oh wait, you got 3 emblems? I thought you missed the 3rd one. No, we did get the 3rd, just not the 4th. So it looks like we could go for the super boss right away. That's not a good idea. We can choose between, like, a ruined department store, a Sumeragi facility, or, like, an industrial plant. Let's just work our way down from the top. So, mission details? Oh, so we're just going out to scavenge some food, and we're going to run into a Sumeragi adept. Now, I do hope that the bosses are as present in their stages, like interfering with us by activating their Septima before we encounter them and things like that, as they were in the 2nd game, because that was one of my favorite real improvements from the design of the 1st to the 2nd. And you do indeed have a jukebox. Nice. Guess we'll have to unlock some stuff for that later. Well, let's head out to the ruined department store. Cal says, this first boss is fun for me, but if you have his weakness, you don't get to fight him because he just teleports away whenever he gets hit. That's a shame, but, I'm interested to see what the bosses have for us here. I am going into this game completely blind. Aside from the stuff, like the promotional images they had available in the PlayStation Store, I've seen nothing. And that is just the way I like it for, like, kind of short, interesting, little smaller games like this. Oh, what the hell is that? Okay, so these are new. Like some kind of leaping, decrepit-looking robots. Hey, it's the missile launchers from the 2nd game. And the 1st, maybe? Oh, I'm going to go mad hunting for emblem pieces here. So our time, like, through my first run of every stage, I can promise you is going to be garbage. Oh, there's an emblem piece. 1 minute. Did we miss anything over here? Oh, no. Cal says the missile robots were in the 1st. Yeah, the 1st, and then the 1st stage of the 2nd, I believe. So that's the way forward. Okay, is there going to be a way around? Yeah, there we go. So collecting emblems is always going to take precedence over speed, my first run through of every stage anyway. Cal says you're probably going to miss one or two in this stage, just from my knowledge. That's alright, we can always come back for them. Here's some of Sumeragi's soldiers. There's also these robots like projecting like static beam walls, which I guess could be dangerous in certain circumstances, but I mean, nothing too bad so far. We didn't miss anything over there, did we? Cal says you got one of the ones I thought you'd miss, so you're a fourth of the way there. At least when I'm exploring an environment for the first time in a video game, I tend to be as thorough as I can. I'm not always the most observant guy in the world, but I'll try to interact with anything I possibly can. Now, we may have missed something over here. I like the level design, I really do. This is extremely reminiscent of Mega Man Zero. There's a lot of, like, platforming around ruined, futuristic complexes in that game. The very first Mega Man Zero, I should stress. Some kind of ruined pavilion. Oh, this is solid. Gotcha. Anything at all here? Cal says I don't think there's that many that are hidden behind having a specific power. That is a good thing. I know there were like a couple optional areas hidden behind obstacles that you would need specific powers to destroy in the second game, but they were never, like, ultra important. Nothing here. I am getting nervous that I missed an emblem, though, because it's been so long since we've seen one. Oh yeah, we definitely missed one. Question, though, is where? Most of this area is just wide open. Wait. Anything at all? Nope, we've got everything we can, it looks like. Time's gonna be shot to hell, but wait, or is there... Nope, nothing there. So on past the hexafile, then. I would appreciate getting a second weapon, like... Oh, what on earth are these? Well, I guess as long as we destroy them, it doesn't matter what they are. Oh, you're new. Well, one of my complaints from the second game has been addressed, that so many of the foot soldiers who were ostensibly adepts didn't display any real powers. We've got friggin' sorcerers running around amongst the enemy ranks now. Oh, damn, out of bullets. Oh, what a terrible time to be out of bullets. Oh, they just lock on indefinitely. Well, that sucked. They also don't stop, ever. Yikes. So this is not going as well as I would have expected. Why is a missile launcher in the rafters? How did these rafters support a missile launcher? So many questions. Hey, it's these guys. Been ages since we saw the chainsaw model. Cal says if you don't know this game, it's really punishing. Well, in terms of score, I would say yes, but in terms of actual performance, not yet. I mean, our health's looking fine. So even if I don't get, like, those emblems, I am perfectly happy with this as a first performance. Oh, looks like I may have found an emblem piece, though. Hold on. Those robots can go to hell, though. Yep, there's one. Cal says you found another one. I figured you missed. Lucky as hell. Well, not necessarily. I can be observant occasionally. Before we got around to Gunvolt, we played a couple collectathon platformers on this channel, so hunting over hill and dale for, like, very small specific items became, well, it took some learning, but it was something we were forced to acclimate ourselves to. So it looks like if I charge these bots before they spot me and deploy their turrets, we can actually... Oh, this is awful. Knock the... well, the turret component, their heads, right off. There's 3. But that's all we'll get for now. That's fine. On to the boss. Right, so what do we have? Oh! There's... a convict? With some kind of handler? Are they going to fight us together?
待ち伏せさせてもらったよ。
許可なく喋るの、リベリオ。死刑執行が早まっても知らんぞ。
ごめんごめん、所長さん。でも久しぶりに刑務所の外に出られたんです。
Ah, Kyle says the one you missed was under the staircase you went back to in the first area. I gotcha.
饒舌になる僕の気持ちも。
Thanks for letting me know.
こんな埃臭い場所でも
So either we're going to fight both of them here, or we fight Rebellio here, and the Warden is one of the adepts fought in the second half of the game.
変身許可はすでに出ている。しっかりとお役目果たしてみせろ。
分かってますよ。僕だってずっと刑務所暮らしはごめんですから。
So does he use a glaive or? No, they're using quills. Oh my god. So is he a puppeteer or? Oh, what a cool design. It looks to be very vaguely inspired by, like, sheep or a ram.
僕も別に君に恨みがあるわけじゃないけど、君を倒せばスメラギが減刑してくれるって言うからね。僕もそろそろ家族の顔が見たいんだ。
Well, he's more sympathetic than a lot of their operatives we saw in the first game. We can and must take him though. Oh no, he's... Ah, I see. He is a sheep, so he's attacking, like, with yarn and wool. Adorable. So actually getting a bead on him is hard as hell, but... Oh, he's gonna be like the gluttony boss from the first game, isn't he? Alright, phase 2. I'm sorry, is that a woolen machine gun? That's adorable. Ooh, he's got a ground pound. So I do appreciate that he telegraphs all of his attacks very clearly by constructing the relevant weapon well in advance of actually using its attack. Oh, what? Uh-oh. Okay, so it's just a series of, like, lasers. More or less. Alright, this, for, like, a first proper, like, Maverick-esque boss, this guy really isn't that bad. Got a great design, wide variety of attacks, none of which are too hard to predict or dodge. Yeah, this is good. I like this design. Good job, Rebellio, and goodbye. Poor guy. And we gain his quill pen, or his quill analog, as a trophy. Really interested to see what weapon he'll give us. Maybe the... If we're lucky, it'll be the chain gun, but it may just be like the giant spiked ball.
強いセプティマを持つ国民の中から無作為に選出される。それがたとえ重罪人であってもな。そんなことよりも他のホルダーが来る前に食料を運び出そう。Cal
says I didn't want to tell you where the emblems are if you wanted to find them yourself, but I figured once you finished the level itself was fine. Yeah, man, that's all right. I appreciate all the assistance and advice, regardless. Yeah, we took a bit too long going through that stage, but that's just fine. We got the Anchor Nexus. We'll be trying that out in the next stage. We got the Red Line Tangle Trophy.
からないけどすごいね。
どうだろう、調子は。
オッケー、問題なし。手に入れた X ウェポンはコースメニュー
Very
と
nice
ステラーと切り替える形でいつでも使えるよ。
セプティマには相性がある。敵ごとに有効な X ウェポンを見つけることができれば戦いを有利に進められるだろう。
ほえー、やっぱりアキラくんってすごいんだね。みんなの笑顔が私の
Alright, so
今日も頑張るぞ。
Cal says this game punishes you hard for speed. I found, well, yeah, it seems like the speed requirements are way more exacting than they were in earlier games, which is fine, I guess. Let's see, get credits for every enemy defeated. No, double lock-on time, that sounds pretty useful. Additional bullet, we can, and I love it! You can actually just buy your upgrades with the currency earned by progressing through the standard game instead of with randomized, like, loot drops. Collected at the end of each stage. I really like that. I really, really like that. So, overdrive guard up. No. An extra bullet would be nice, but man, that extender. For certain bosses, I'm going for the extender. Cal says for S plus grinding you have to beat every level within 3 minutes or maybe 4. Yeah, that's really tight, but I assume if you've got Anthem active all the way through, you'd be just fine.
あるにはあるが、すさんでいることが多いな。
この前なんか石を投げられたもんね。え、マイナーズに？どうして？
隠れ家が見つかることを恐れたんだろう。
琥珀ちゃんたちみたいに温かく迎えてくれるところは少ないんだよ。
俺のような存在をかくまうのはリスクが伴う。忌避されて当然だ。だから活動拠点を提供してくれた琥珀たちには。
そんな、私の方が感謝してるよ。この拠点好きに使ってくれていいからね。いつでも帰ってきていいんだからね。
ああ。
Alright. With that over and done with, it's time to take on the Sumeragi facility. And what exactly is our objective here? Oh, we're more or less taking on, well, not their headquarters, but their largest and most profitable installation. That'll do.
でも、スメラギのビルってすっごい厳重なセキュリティで守られてるんだよね。
はい。だけど隙はあります。資材搬入用の輸送列車。固定された建物と違って。
Oh, this is going to be another train-based stage, like the like Viper's weapons refinery in the first game. Cal says just kill the security and it won't be tight anymore. Well, if this was anybody but Copen, I would say that may not necessarily be so easy, but yeah, he could handle it. He could handle it. As we're about to see. So, really enjoyed the first boss, or first proper adept fight. I'm looking forward to seeing what the other 5 can do. We've already kind of seen Blade, who's, I mean, alright, but Revelio was really interesting. Alright, now hold on. Let's switch out forms for Lola. Oh! Oh, that's interesting. It appears to automatically lock on to enemies once we get close to them. And then I believe we can press like the circle button to deal some additional damage. Okay. I mean, I'll take it. hold on. It may just increase the damage we do to enemies we're already locked onto while it's active. I'll be honest with you, I have no idea. I mean, whatever it's doing, I'll take it. Cal says this weapon is weird. Well, it seems like more of a utility weapon than... Or I should say a utility upgrade rather than an actual, weapon. Oh, wait a minute now. It causes my dashes to deal quite a significant amount of damage. Would you look at that? Oh, how lovely. Yeah, no, this is the same attack Rebellio used when he extended, like, a grapple line across the room to swing at us and followed up with a ground pound. That's right. Oh, you're interesting. You're beautiful. Okay, so this honestly seems like the kind of thing, as much as I like our current weapon, that Stellar Spark could be just a little better for. Well, maybe. Jesus! You think that attack lasts long enough? Well, there goes the last of the train security. I'm not going to be scouring for emblems quite as much as I did earlier in the stream from this point on. Feels like just progressing through the game as normal the first time through might be the better way to go about it. You know, play it just the way we did the first couple. Now we should arrive at the facility proper, right? Yeah. So our boss here has control over gravity. I was going to say, wasn't there a boss from the first game that could do something similar? But Carrera had control over magnetism, I believe. And Kyle says something you probably won't notice compared to 2, the EX weapons in this game have their own gauge and they only recharge when they're out. Good to know, thank you for the tip. Oh, it's platforming challenge time. Well. Oh. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, that's a jewel icon. Hold on, what's that doing here? Is it just like a plushie or something, since this was a Sumeragi facility, or? Yeah, I thought it might be like some kind of collectible. But no dice. Oh man. I don't know how it's going to fare against bosses, but like just for traversal, this weapon is awesome. No, I'm really digging this. Nothing up there. Okay. Hey, there's number 3. Oh, because we got enough kudos. She's going to sing for us. That's lovely. And there it goes, because I lost them all. God damn it! First time I've ever had that happen, and it lasted for about 5 seconds. Cal says that's the problem with that weapon, it locks on so you don't control your dashes anymore. Well, against bosses then, it would actually be incredibly useful, I'd imagine. Yeah, this is a very interesting weapon. I quite like it, actually. It'd be great for speedruns, I'm sure. Alright, we got all our stuff here. Probably not a good idea to take an elevator near the gravity-based adept, just saying. Alright, let's see what we're up against. Oh! A young woman and her butler? I take it they're all accompanied by, adepts we fight in the second half of the game. Like, the Warden will be an adept fight, in one of the second set of, like, 3 stages, and the butler may as well. We might fight Blade at the halfway point, maybe, hopefully. I'm hoping they don't save the one we've already seen and kind of fought for last. I'd rather keep seeing new and interesting stuff as we move on toward the end. Oh, damn, check him out. Love that design. So, based off of the way her dialogue is written, I would assume she's originally, or she is intended to, like, come off with a Kansai accent, like a very informal, like, kind of coarse, I don't want to say coarse, but, like, very informal, kind of loose form of speech, similar to the dialect typically associated with my home region, the deep southeast. I'm curious, I'm interested to see which one of these is actually the boss here. Cal says there's multiple bosses that talk in a specific accent or tone. Yeah, but this is the way that I think a Kansai accent is typically transliterated. Okay, so we're fighting the CEO first. Oh, nice. So she's the president of an electronics manufacturer. In addition to gravity, maybe she has some kind of electric ability. Okay, so see, I actually really like this. It looks like most, if not all, of the Falcons, at least based off of these first couple of stages, are being forced to fight us. Sumeragi, again, the, like, corporation that, at least in the first game, was not controlled by adepts, but instead had an adept division, is applying pressure on these people to force them to stand against us. Making them, in many ways, I would say, more sympathetic than our character, or at least the way he came off in earlier entries. Kyle says I meant more like the actor themselves tried to imitate the accent of the character. Oh no, yeah, I would imagine so. I'm just not proficient enough with Japanese to tell, but it does sound like she's going for like a Kansai accent. Okay, so what do you do? Oh, wow. Check that out. She's like some kind of advanced futuristic seraphim. Oh, I dig this. Are those meant to be CDs? Ooh. Oh, this is her weakness. Nice. Oh, check you out. Well, whenever I actually connect with this thing, it wrecks you, doesn't it? I have no... What the hell? I have no idea what's going on. Well, damn. Yeah, no, I see that. Kyle says this boss can be kind of hard early, in part because I have no idea what she's doing. Let's try this again and try to actually learn this fight. Okay, so that's when we want to attack her. When she casts the discs out to the side. So bad news. It looks like she can drain our bullet energy. It looks to me almost instantly with certain attacks. Like the standard prevasion rules may not apply to some of her projectile attacks. Okay, I'm interested to see though. What is your ult going to be like? Oh, I see. She's trying to bury me alive. Oh my god! And she... No. Are you kidding me? Well, thank you for that, Lola. So getting caught in that, like, gravity orb is almost a guaranteed kill early on, it seems. So I'm not super proud of that, but we got her. And I have a feeling her weapon's gonna be very useful. Kyle says she has multiple weaknesses, which I didn't know until I saw a speedrun, and she has multiple attacks that ignore pervasion entirely. That's kind of what I gathered, which I guess is offset by the fact that she's weak to several weapons. Cal says her weapon is the best in the game that speedrunners use. Okay, very nice. I really like Rebellio's weapon, though. It just seems like the others, if they're standard projectile weapons, may have a bit more general use than the Great Red Anchor. Oh, shit! They take all of your score if you die. That was not a thing in the earlier installments of the series. We got the Weight of Pygmalion trophy, which is appropriate. I think in Myth, Pygmalion, or in the story, is like a man obsessed with literally crafting his perfect or his ideal woman from clay. I think, or stone, or something like that. It's been ages since I've actually like, gone over that story, but, well, after that somewhat embarrassing showing, let's try to probably end the stream on this next stage and finish this up tomorrow, with the Autofab plant.
シャワーを浴びてたら途中から水になったのです。基地内の EN パックの残量が心もとないんだよね。
Hey, I appreciate it, Kyle. No worries. I'm gonna be trying out each of these weapons, given how useful the full complement from the first game were. I'm gonna try to make it through each stage with the previous stage's weapon, unless it's just really arduous. Like, I think the only weapon I absolutely hated using from the second game was Gori's, and that's because it's just not my style.
どこかに予備の EN パックが残ってるんじゃないかって言われてるんだけど、ゲールメカもバリバリ動いててマリアたちでは近づけないのです。
分かった。俺が見てこよう。
本当？ありがとう。やったね、マリア。
Cal says I don't like the Twin Tail Bunker. That was the goddess's weapon again, or wasn't it? I want to say I remember it being kind of useful in certain situations. Yeah, the crystal was the only one that got me. Yeah, Desna's weapon. Alright, factory stage. The second game gave us a very solid stage in this style with the chef's level in Copen's campaign. Which, sorry, earlier I misspoke when I said we only saw Sumeragi soldiers in Gunvolt's opening tutorial stage. We actually see all of, like, the mechanical Sumeragi opponents, or, like, standard enemies from the first game in the chef stage. Cal says I only didn't like it because I don't know how to control it, especially against Gori. I remember very little of my experience with that weapon since I didn't use it that long. I used it, sporadically in the chef stage, but then I got his weapon, and that's what I'm more or less stuck with for the entire game. Okay, so the orbital edge. Oh, I see. It's like just going to be a very powerful melee weapon. Okay. I mean, I would really like some projectiles at some point, game, but I guess Copen's standard buster is so strong he doesn't really need it. Oh hey, it's the turrets again, this time just with a recolor. Oh, hello. Oh, my. That says 3 of the weapons are projectiles, I think. A big change from the second game where most weapons were. This makes Copen a far more clear 0 XP. In that, like, in Mega Man X7 and X8, I want to say all of Zero's unlockable techniques were melee-based. Come on, there we go. We're gonna have to get up there somehow, eventually. Right? No, there we go. Oh, and the CEO's weapon allowed us to destroy that glowing green crate. So maybe good reason to go back to the intro, or to get a faster time in the intro on down the line. Nice, nice. Oh, hey, it's a security room. First time seeing one of these in this particular entry. Bring it on. Oh yeah, this is what our special weapon was made for. Alright, in quarters like this, I'm seeing the appeal. Nice, nice, nice. It didn't appear to be guarding anything. Appear being the operant term. Take him down. Cal says, I think they tried to change the gameplay or just augment Copen to be faster, so they gave him fast melee powers early. Well, I actually think it serves more of a gameplay balance purpose, because when you have a character who is already this powerful from range, you may not want to give them even more viable, or a wider repertoire of extremely powerful ranged abilities early on. Yeah, both of these weapons are really nice, actually. I mean, I can see scenarios where the close range of this and the relative lack of control afforded by the red anchor might be undesirable, but just for, like, traversal and getting through stages, they both seem perfectly handy. And as always, I love the little redesigns Lola gets for each weapon. Great visual touch. What on earth is that? Oh. That activates a trap of some kind. I didn't care if I took the damage, though, just... Oh, nasty. Ah, if you tag enemies, though, the discs will automatically orbit them when fired. Oh, that is brilliant. Oh, damn it all. Oh, damn. Okay, so this isn't going to be great for my score, but other than that, we're fine. Oh, there's our final emblem piece. Let's see if we can't get it. Yep. Go for it, Lola. Very nice. Nice, nice, nice. Boss time. Yeah, baby. Cal says, from my experience of this game, especially for like S+ grinding, they expect you to be going fast and being closer to enemies. And it took me a while to learn how to do that. Corridor saws you got stuck on. Yeah, that looks like that one encourages practice, let's say. Alright, so we've got a solo opponent this time. He's a tailor? Cal says they probably added the medallions for players that might not be as good at comboing but still want to hear the songs. Well, that, and I think it adds something to the stages to have multiple collectibles scattered around throughout. Like, I think from 0-2 on, Mega Man 0 was very, very good about that. Even in the first game, there were still, little creatures called cyber elves that could be upgraded and equipped that augmented your character with new moves or abilities or things like that. Or even just simple stat buffs scattered around the stages. It's nice to be encouraged to explore environments you're placed in any kind of game, I find. As long as there's a suitable reason for doing so.
これは全部今からアーティスティックに爆発させる予定なんだ。全てをアーティスティックに燃え上がらせる美の追求者。クリム様のデトネーションのセプティマ。
Okay, so his thing is explosives.
アートは爆発だ。
Interesting.
爆発はアーティスティックに。どっちでもいいか。
I do really like the boss visual design in this game so far. They all seem very distinct and full of personality and flavor, just as much, if not more so, than the folks from Gunvolt 2, who, in turn, had, I think, more, I should say, distinct, realized design than the bosses in Gunvolt 1. It's been a consistent improvement, and I really dig that. Right, so what do you do? Oh, wow. He's some kind of beetle. Oh, check out that armor. Dude, that's sick. Oh, and it looks like this happens to be our buddy's weakness. And just like, say, the Mega Man X games, attacking a boss with their weakness can actually destroy their weapons, armor, etc. Alright, what's your ult? Oh, I see. It's like explosions tracing the arena. Cal says this guy is the one who's harder on the special mission because you can't cut his armor off. Yeah, it looks like he'll be shielded most of the time, but granted, I just kind of frantically hammered buttons, as is my style there. But it seemed like he's much easier than the CEO is, even without his weakness. Like, even his ult, from what I saw of it, like, as long as you know how to maneuver around the slowly circling explosion, didn't look that bad. I'll be interested to see what his weapon is. Alright, and that's our third adept down. I do love the, like, gorgeous boss illustrations we get at the end of each stage. Cal says the CEO just has a lot of annoying moves for early game, but if you fought the butler instead, it would be just as hard. Do you, like, get a choice? Like, depending on the conditions you fight certain, or you complete certain stages in, does the boss change? Or are we going to be fighting them later on, as I expected? It also seems like, oh no, Kyle says you don't get a choice, but if they swap the bosses around, it would be just as hard. Well, it honestly seems like for her fight in particular, if I had, or I was, using a projectile weapon that would home in on her, just like my standard firearm, or say the chef's weapon from the second game, it would be way more manageable. It's specifically the fact that, and I think this is kind of clever, one of her weaknesses is a melee-centric weapon that requires you to constantly be approaching her when she's got these massive discs circling around. And gravity globes chasing you down for a near one-hit kill and things like that.
大きな病院なら大抵置いてあるありふれた
Okay, so mid-game stage, we're going to be raiding a hospital and fighting Blade?
安心しろ。俺が町の病院に乗り込み、薬を確保してこよう。
ハネピックス、お願いなのです。琥珀を助けて。
約束する。薬は必ず持ち帰る。だから琥珀の看病は任せたぞ。
In general, Copen seems significantly toned down from his characterization in the earlier entries. He doesn't seem to have this raging, like, genocidal hatred for adepts that he did in particularly the first game anymore, or at least he's not voicing it. And he has dedicated himself specifically to taking down the Sumeragi group, who are responsible for all the horrible things that happened to his family and the adepts and so on. So yeah, they seem to be doing their best to rehabilitate him as, like, a rough-around-the-edges hero, which is a good thing, I would say. Definitely. I prefer this characterization to the way he was portrayed earlier in the series. We are gonna go ahead and grab that extra bullet. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, due to the time and the fact that I have a little bit of work to take care of today, we are going to go ahead and call it for today, but we'll be back tomorrow with the remaining portions of Luminous Avenger, a game that I'm really digging so far. We've got 4 adepts left, and then whoever our central antagonist is going to turn out to be. As well as that super boss, which I may fight near the start of tomorrow's stream. And if we finish this game in pretty short order, then the back half of tomorrow's stream may be dedicated to one of a couple little side projects I'm thinking of tossing around the channel. Until then, thank you all so much for joining me for this kind of double-header stream today. Whether you've been active in our audience on Twitch or you're catching this after the fact as a VOD on YouTube, I want you to know how much I appreciate you electing to share your time with me this afternoon. Thank you all so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you tomorrow afternoon for more Luminous Avenger X Gunvolt Chronicles. Take care now.